columnist for SB Nation, and also on Sirius XM Radio, joining me here day after the Super Bowl. How are you, Geoff?
I'm fantastic. I like that Super Bowl. I know people are a little down on it, but there was a lot of genius happening, especially on the Patriots side.
Well, I mean, let's talk about what in particular was the genius on the Patriots side, Geoff, that would hold the Rams to 3 points.
It's what they do best, and I know people talk about it often, but they adapt game to game, play to play, half to half. I mean, they even ran plays on offense in the last drive where they scored that weren't even on the play sheet. Again, they did against the Chiefs as well 2 weeks ago, but they adapted. They basically did what the Lions did against the Rams in Week 13, but just better. They ran a lot of corners coverage. They ran a lot of zone coverage, one high stuff, and it fooled Jared Goff. You didn't know where to go with the ball. You had pressure into that, and I thought one or two things would happen with McVay. Either run what got him to the dance, which I thought would be a mistake because you give Belichick 2 weeks to prepare, and this is what happened. He did. He didn't adapt at all. I thought he would adjust somewhat, and he didn't adjust at all, and it showed in the field.
So will you agree with Sean McVay's assessment after the game that he got outcoached, which, by the way, I thought was really refreshing and revealing? It didn't sound like one of those rote, I got outcoached today. I really think that he took the loss on him, certainly knowing that there'd be a lot of people pointing the finger at his young quarterback.
Oh, he 100% got out coached. Like I said, he made no adjustments. He came in the game running what he does, and he tried to do it, and it did not work. They were ready for the play action. They were ready for the run plays. I'm still shocked that Todd Gurley was not getting the reps that he should. I don't know what's happening in that situation. I think he's healthy, but something had to happen for Gurley just to not get reps. I mean, C.J. Anderson had to run the ball well, but Gurley didn't forget how to run the football. He didn't forget how to catch the ball. He didn't forget how to contribute out of the backfield. And they had no production from the running backs in the pass game, no production from the tight ends in the pass game whatsoever. The Patriots just took away all their options, and they had no answers.
So, Geoff Schwartz here on the Rich Eisen Show. I pointed out in the top of the show 2 plays. It's not like I'm telling any tales out of school. It's the 2 plays that so many people are talking about today. Cook's wide open. The Patriots did blow the coverage, yes, in that one?
Yes.
So why did Goff, in your estimation, not see Cooks?
Yeah, the safety right there in quarters kind of jumped the underneath route, the deep crosser. And, I mean, Goff is reading that safety on that play. And if the safety's flat-footed, he's got to hit the post behind him. And I don't know if he just didn't see the safety. I know it was a play-action pass. Maybe the action took longer than he thought. Looked like no one in his face. And he just missed it, and that's what happened most of the game. There were guys open, and Goff just didn't see it. And McCourty, I think that's McCourty on the backside there, made a fantastic play. That doesn't happen very often with a backside corner like that. Has to run all the way across the field to make a play like that. But he missed him. He had an opportunity. He didn't see him. And that was the story of the game. There were opportunities to be had for the Rams, and whether Goff was pressured or confused, he didn't make the throws necessary.
Geoff Schwartz, former offensive lineman, NFL contributor to SB Nation here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what did the Patriots do well on the offensive side of the ball? So many people are kind of surprised that Brady didn't have another 400, 500-yard night as he has been lately.
Well, look at Brady in the AFC Championship game. If D4 is on sides, Brady has 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and 260 yards. So he didn't, he played well in the overtime period, but he played okay in that game. And he played okay yesterday. But the Patriots' run game again was the story, and they did it with different players, right? Sony Michel had a big game, but so did Burkhead. He came in there and ran the ball hard, and the hallmark for a good run game is how the Patriots ran, which is early in the game, yards are hard to come by. You grind out a couple yards here and there. You get an 8-yard carry, get a 1-yard carry. Very few negative plays, which is great. They had that one play where Sue tackled for loss. And then in the fourth quarter, when you have run the ball enough, you start loosening up the defense, and you end up with the long gains, which really sealed the game. We saw that play where they ran that little one-back power. Michelle had the big gain on the last drive. I mean, that's what a good run game does. And the Patriots, they neutralized Donald. They neutralized Sue for the most part. They used their aggressiveness against them and kind of ran to where they would vacate, knowing that they are hard penetrators up the field. It was a special game plan. I think that the Patriots D-line, really Van Noy and Hightower could have some MVP praise, and so should the offensive line.
So when you said that they ran some plays that were not on the play sheet, I know that Gronk slant in overtime in Kansas City in the AFC Championship game was one of those. How do you know what was run last night was not on their play sheet, Geoff?
Yeah, Peter King reported again this morning in his article that that last drive they decided to go heavy because they realized that the Rams were matching up the personnel pretty well when the Patriots were kind of in their normal personnel groupings, and they were keeping a nickel on the field, giving them matchup issues. And they decided to go heavy personnel, to bring 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, and have Edelman as the only wide receiver. So forced the Rams to be in base defense and have an extra linebacker on the field. And that's when they took advantage of guys that couldn't cover. So you have Edelman on a middle linebacker in the middle of the field. You have Gronk on a corner who can't really cover him, or Gronk on a linebacker who can't cover him. And corner Josh McDaniels, that was not on the play sheet for the game. It was not practiced all week or for the last 2 weeks, and he called the offense together and said, look, this is what we're running. You know, these plays are in our playbook, and this is why you install a giant playbook in training camp. Because if the plays are in the playbook, you don't always call them on game day, right? You pare down to have a play sheet and you focus on those plays. And that's what the Patriots are so great about. Teams cannot adjust like that. And the fact they can do it is pretty remarkable.
All right, Geoff. If one more question for you, if you can hold your phone out, because I think it's a little muffled here. When it comes down to it, why is Belichick and the staff so able to recognize things in real time and adjust with a roster that is so flexible in a way that other teams can't? To me, that is the differentiator, and obviously having the greatest executor on offense in the history of the game in Tom Brady is another differentiator. But just the ability to do the things that you say, and also have, I guess, that vast library to say, hey, you know what the Lions did here? That's exactly what we did against the Redskins and Kirk Cousins before, and Patricia used that from us. I mean, how is that different? How's nobody else able to do it?
Well, I think it's a mindset of just they're just flexible from start to finish. So when they prepare for a game, they think about all the options, and they're open to doing what works that week. A lot of coaches have egos and want to do what they do best all the time, right? Like McVay, he said, we're going to run what we know, and we're going to beat the Patriots. Well, Belichick doesn't care. He will run whatever works for him in that week. So it takes a coach who doesn't have an ego. I'm sure Belichick has an ego, but one that really doesn't, to just say, we're going to be so multiple. And look, and they have people, especially on defense, like a Van Noy and a Hightower, who can do multiple things. They can rush the passer. They can guard out of the backfield. They can stop the run. So when you have interchangeable pieces like they do, especially on defense, it allows you to do more things and give more looks, and players buy in. Look, they buy in because they know they can win a Super Bowl.
And how about Julian Edelman, Geoff Schwartz, who has signed my book here, The Greatest Jews in Sports? How about Edelman? I think he's the first Jewish MVP of the Super Bowl. How about that, Geoff?
He is. Is he now? He jumps to the front of the list, right, of greatest Jewish NFL players. I feel like it's a short list. He jumps.
Well, I mean, there's Sid Luckman. There's Benny Friedman, who created the modern pass. But there's no. He's definitely the first member of the tribe in the membership of Super Bowl MVP. Geoff,
I think I saw that Hank Greenberg's the only other MVP of any sort in any sport that is Jewish as well. So. Very rare company for Edelman. Good for him. Look, he played very well. Obviously, they couldn't guard him, and part of that is the way they set him up formationally, so he can't get doubled. But he was unguardable. He had a great game.
Yeah, Chris Harris of the Broncos tweeted out, "You better have your slot corner and be able to play man to man. Otherwise, you're going to get beat like that." So I don't know if he's trying to pound the table of his own abilities right there, but it made sense. Hey,
you have to. You have to.
Geoff, thanks for the call, man. We'll chat again soon.
All right, take care.
You got it. That's Geoff Schwartz, former offensive lineman.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.